So we're going to take an example here, and on slide 14, the example we're going to use is the American wine industry. Slide 15, you can answer that question. This is a choice question that, again, is your personal preference. So slide 16, what the industry offered. Well, we know that they distribute wine. Essentially, they do it here in California through the supermarkets, but they also work through liquor stores or especially wine stores. And what you find when you go into that store is that the market is polarized between premium wines, where there is lots of differentiation, lots of sophistication in making the purchase, and budget wines, which are good and perfectly serviceable, but don't have the same kind of imprimatur that you would find in premium wines. What also is an issue as you're going into these stores are that there's so many choices, it's very difficult to select something other than maybe one of the jug wines that would meet the requirements that you have for the dinner party or the activity that you want to use the wine for. You certainly don't want to look stupid. So you don't want to buy a red wine to serve with your fish or a white wine to serve with your steak. But beyond that, it's pretty hard to get good advice because the level of skill that the clerk has in the wine store is probably not sufficient to really give you good guidance. Well, let's take a look at the wine industry. And look on slide 17, and you'll see that the American wine industry is the third largest industry of its kind in the world, and it's worth about $20 billion a year. Of that, 2/3 of the American wine industry is made up of California-grown wines, and the balance is from wines from all over the rest of the world. There are also, though, a number of domestic wineries that are being opened in some of the more far-flung areas like Washington and Oregon, and in western New York, and even some parts of northern Ohio, where they're growing grapes for things like, I think Riesling is one that does well in those colder climates. And yet, with all of the activity that we have, the customer base is stagnant. It's not growing. And while we might be number 3 in terms of total market, we're number 31 in terms of world per capita consumption. So in slide 18, you could see also about the American wine industry that the top 8 producers had 75% of the market, and the remaining 25% was divided up among 1,600 other wine purveyors. So the industry as a whole spends millions of dollars in what they call above-the-line marketing. And there is intense competition for the market share, and also severe price pressures on the products themselves. And what the major wineries do is they spend their time focusing on the premium wines and trying to increase complexity of what they offer, give a better image, you focus more on the prestige of the vineyard, and on the number of medals that have been won at wine festivals. All of this is attempting to segment the market so that the vineyards can capture what is an existing marketplace. And this is where, like any red ocean, that all of the members of the industry get all cut up in the process. Well, look at slide number 19. And here we show a strategy canvas for premium wines. And I'd indicated before that this is a highly personalized kind of a thing. And the people from Yellowtail were looking at the American market as a potential. And so it was through their eyes that they looked at the premium wines. And what they saw and this is now how they do it. They look at it and say, what do we think that the premium wine manufacturers have as their key value considerations for their customers? What are they, the premium winemakers, thinking about that they believe that the customers want as part of the product offering they have? And how important is each of those ultimately to the premium wine manufacturers as they in turn try and maximize the value for their customers? So again, the the y-axis rather is the vertical, and it shows the relative importance of a series of different values or items that would be of importance. And now looking through the eyes of the people from Yellowtail, as they looked at the premium wine market, what they saw is that the winemakers believed that the oenological terminology was very important in people's selecting one wine versus another. And you could see that was the first factor put on the slant there on that slide as to how people would make their buying decisions. They saw another factor that was very important was above the line marketing, and this is the quality of the displays, the quality of the packaging, the quality of a box that the wine bottle might come in to make it more unique or more prestigious. Thirdly, they saw as another characteristic, aging quality was something that the premium winemakers, in their opinion, were stressing because they, the premium winemakers, viewed this as something that was important to their customers. Wine complexity was the fourth one, or the fifth one actually. Vineyard prestige and legacy and wine complexity, both of which kind of fit together, were important for premium winemakers in the eyes of people from Yellowtail, because those premium winemakers believed that was what was important to their customers. Having a wide wine range, number of different varieties that they have, was considered important in the eyes of the people from Yellowtail for the premium winemakers, who in turn were looking at their customer set, and the customers wanted choice, they believed. And finally, all the way to the right, price, which always is a factor in any kind of marketing decision. The pricing, they believed, Yellowtail believed that was important to the winemakers, and that the customers were willing to pay premium prices for premium wines. So that is how they plotted this, and you can see that all of these factors show up as something of high potential value to the winemakers, who in turn see it as high potential value to their customers. Now on slide number 20, what you can see is a plot of how the people from Yellowtail perceived budget wines and what was important to budget winemakers, reflecting what they saw as important to their budget wine customers. And here you can see that the oenological terms had some impact, but all of the other factors that are important to premium wine drinkers or premium wine makers were far less important in the selling decision for the jug wines. And this is reflected in the last of those characteristics, which was price. And the price of the jug wines is substantially lower than premium wines. Well, having plotted this on the strategy canvas, the next step for the people from Yellowtail was to go out and survey people, survey potential customers and see what they had to say. And on slide 21, you could see what people said. It's too confusing and complex, and well, it is, because you may have 100 or more choices to make. The wine descriptions were not really decipherable by ordinary human beings. The shopping experience was not good because they really couldn't get any meaningful help from the people working in the store. And then there was the lack of clear guidance as to what to buy, because you, again, don't want to embarrass yourself with some of your sophisticated friends. Thus, what happened is it was so massively intimidating that people just chose not to buy wine, and instead would substitute beer or other alcoholic beverages, or even non-alcoholic beverages for their purchasing habits. So let's go to slide 21, and we'll now take a break. You've had a chance to see that slide?